Now we discuss the syntax of nested do-while loop. Its initialization of loop control variable associated with outer do-while loop. Do-while loop starts with the keyword do followed by a opening curly bracket. Then initialization of loop control variable for inner do-while loop, starting off do-while loop with the keyword do. Curly bracket indicates starting of body of do-while loop, statements within the body of do-while loop, and normally last statement in body of do-while loop is update part, that is increment or decrement in loop control variable. Then do-while loop is terminated with a keyword while followed by a condition that is terminated with a semicolon. Then after executing do-while loop, the control transfer to this statement. It can be a single statement or set of statements within the body of outer do-while loop. Then the last statement in outer do-while loop is increment or decrement in loop control variable. Then outer do-while loop is terminated with while followed by a condition that is terminated with a semicolon. The outer loop control repetition of inner loop. Now discuss the flowchart of nested do-while loop. The flowchart highlights various parts of do-while loop. Its outer loop control variable initialization. Then in body of inner loop, it normally starts with initialization of loop control variable of inner loop. Then statements within the body of inner do-while loop. Then condition that is tested at the end of do-while loop. Mean after completing each iteration of do-while loop, condition is tested. If condition is true, then a repeat statement or set of statements within the body of do-while loop. Its inner do-while loop condition. Then after this condition becomes false, it's end of outer inner do-while loop. Then statements within the body of outer for loops are executed, indicates body of outer loop. Then condition associated with outer do-while loop is tested. If this condition is true, then outer loop iterates inner loop until this condition becomes false, and when condition becomes false, control transfers after statement outside the body of do-while loop. Its syntax of nested for loop. It starts with outer for followed by three parts of loop, that is initialization part of for loop, condition of for loop, update part of for loop. Initialization is initialization of loop control variable, condition is normally applied on loop control variable, and update is normally increment or decrement in loop control variable. Its start of body of for loop, outer for loop, its inner for loop, again followed by three parts, that is initialization part of inner for loop, condition of inner for loop, update part of inner for loop, and then a statement or set of statements within the body of inner for loop. After transfer of control from this for loop, we move towards statement or set of statement within the body of outer for loop. Outer for loop iterates inner for loop up to specific number of times normally. Its flowchart of nested for loop. It highlights various parts of for loop. Its initialization, that is initialization of loop control variable of outer for loop. Then its test condition of outer for loop. If this condition is true, then its starting point of body of outer for loop, Normally here uh, initialization of loop control variable of inner loop is done. Then a condition or test condition of inner for loop. If it's true, then body of for loop is executed. Increment or decrement in a loop control variable of inner loop is executed. When condition of inner for loop becomes false, then it's end of basically inner for loop and control again transfer to increment or decrement part of outer for loop. When condition of outer for loop becomes false, then it's basically end of outer for loop and control is transferred after statement following outer for loop. Nesting of all loops, basically we can nest all three loops as well. We can use any one of the loop as outermost loop. Here as an example, for loop is shown as outermost loop. Then it follows do while loop, and within body of do while loop we are using for loop. So we are using nesting of level 2 in this example. It's a sample example. We can use any one of the loops as outermost loop, then any one of the loops as inner loop as well.